So let's start from the beginning and discuss what is Entity Framework. Well, Entity Framework is an object relational mapping tool that was created by Microsoft. It has a lot of capabilities with LINQ, or it's actually, if you've ever used LINQ to SQL, it's basically LINQ to SQL 2.0. Provides a lot of cool, awesome features on top of that, and the latest edition in 4.0 even goes farther than that, and we can discuss some of the cool things that you can do with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and start an empty web project. Hopefully everyone knows this part. And to begin with, I'm going to go ahead and create a new item. And let's see, go to Data, ADO.NET Entity Model, and we'll just call this Data Access. And we're going to go ahead and start with an empty model. And I just want to kind of get it going, just to show you kind of the basic look. So this screen kind of reminds me a lot of, in Management Studios, you have the diagram tool. This is pretty similar to that. What this allows us to do is that we can, from this is our ground zero, we can not only drag in databases and tables and things like that and automatically create objects around them that we can query or do such and such with, whatever we pretty much wish or desire. We can also start here and then push our changes to the database. So this could be, for us, can be eliminate several other tools, including Management Studios, other than, as far as simple object creation, table creation, things like that. Let's see. So let's go ahead and connect to a database. And connecting to a database is really simple. Just a basic old-fashioned connection. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new connection. Got my server name here. And I have my database. Just kind of automatically finds and populates the databases for us. So, test the connection. Connection succeeded. All right, we're good to go. It's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and create that connection. All right. So, and just those few clicks, we've already found a database, connected to it, and everything else has been handled for you. There's nothing terribly complicated about what we just did in other forms, but we didn't have to go out and look for it. Did it all for us. So looking at the database, we have all of the tables for the database as to be expected. Views. This is, of course, the VentureWorks database, sample database from Microsoft. And as normally for us developers, creating the objects can be quite a hassle because we want to transition between a database, which is rows and columns, to in-memory objects. So, for instance, an address, we would have to basically, back in the good old days before object relational mapping, or before it was really perfected, we had to create these objects ourselves. A very time-consuming task to sit here and go, okay, address 1, getter, setter, set all this information, prepare it, when it's really pretty much a foolproof process unless you have some very specific needs. And the object relational mapping system sort of took that and simply got rid of the old process. So, all right, so I'm just going to select the address table here and just kind of show how this works and sample it in code. So what I just did was I took the address table and basically, just like that, I just created a model for address. So let's go ahead and kind of interact with this model a little bit and just kind of see how it looks in code. So I'm just going to add a new class file. We'll just call this Model Explorer. All right. So I'm going to create a public void model test. How about that? So first thing we need to do is we need to create a container. The container is like our magic box that holds all of the objects. And the container, we can take a look here. We can always find out the information on the container by scrolling to our EDMX file, checking out the properties, and here we go. And checking out the name. We can also easily change the name for some reason when we want to change the naming convention or whatever. So if you look right here, our entity container name is Data Access Container. Terribly difficult, I know. So it automatically kind of names everything to a convention for you, which is pretty nice. And there's actually some more naming conventions I'll show you as we continue along that it sort of automatically takes plurals and sort of handles that for you most of the time. All right, so let's take a look. Right, so since it's in our root file, there's no place for it. It's right there, easy for us. So what I like to do is call it container. Equals new data access container. All right. So something really interesting happens when this line of code runs. It's not just simply creating an object for us in the simple sense, giving us some kind of a, it's going to not only create the space in which we can push and pull objects from SQL Server, it's also going to create, it's going to automatically handle all the underlying connections at the point of when this model is created.